Hey guys, welcome to the Island Renaissance podcast. Once again, stoked surreal to be with a rather exceptional guest, Vimukthi Abeynayake, also known as Coach V. Am I right, Coach V?
Yeah.
And Vimukthi is a certified Muay Thai coach. He's a personal trainer. He's also the founder of Vanquish Muay Thai and Fitness Sri Lanka. Vimukthi is a certified coach and a certified ring official under WBC Muay Thai. He also has a B license from the Muay Thai Academy of America. He runs his own gym in Kolonava, and he's an entrepreneur. I think I can say that. He's also an actor. I had the distinct pleasure of meeting Vimukthi. I mean, we've known each other for a long while. He's turned up for Stigmata concerts, and then I've known of Coach V. But the first time we met and connected and had a proper conversation was, I think, when the two of us participated in
The Under Armour Challenge.
the Under Armour Challenge last year. So welcome, Vimukthi. Excited to have you. I've been trying to have you on the podcast for a while now, and both our schedules haven't permitted it.
Yeah.
You've been even more busy because you're overseas half the time. I hope I did justice with your introduction, man.
You did, brother. Thank you for having me, brother.
I had to do quite a little bit of digging to get all
You've
this
got it all.
information.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. And thanks for being here, man. So let's start off with how you are, how things are, and what's happening, which is new.
Well, I've been good. These days, as you've seen, I've been trying to lift heavier to get bigger because all my students, as I always say, are quite bigger than me. So I have to keep up with these guys. They're all young and I'm getting older with time. And yeah, so...
You're 26, 27?
I'm turning 32 this year.
Okay. 32?
Yeah.
Still a long way to go, man.
Yeah, but compared to the young guys I have with me, yeah. Because when you're like in your early 20s, when you're 19, 20, 23, you have that fire,
Yeah.
And those guys come at you with everything in the
That's
gym.
a different kind of energy, I guess, right? And resilience.
Yeah.
Recovery is also a lot faster, right?
Yeah, they're like Wolverines.
So, are there any tournaments or anything that's happening right now, immediately?
In June, we have the World Championships happening in Thailand.
Okay.
The World Boxing Council tournament. We are prepping for that, me, Gavin and Giri. Hopefully there'll be a few others from Sri Lanka that comes along with us. And yeah, that's the big thing we are looking forward to next. And of course, there's going to be a few more competitions in Sri Lanka as well. And hopefully down the line, more tournaments abroad. We are actually targeting a few big stadium fights in Thailand in the coming year, this year, towards the end of the year, I guess. They are not confirmed yet because we need to actually stay there for a few months to get them confirmed. So yeah, working on finding sponsors and whatnot for that right now.
Okay. I understand that part is quite a challenge. We'll go into that because I think we need to shed light on something that people don't understand. I mean, obviously, people talk about MMA, mixed martial arts, and that's really grown in popularity in the last couple of years. You have a lot of people talking about it, watching it. You have a lot of people advocating it now. But once again, and I find this very similar to people who support rock and heavy metal music in terms of the same plight and the struggles and the actual shit that happens behind the scenes that no one sees, right? And so, first thing, it's a series of questions. The first thing is I would like you to clarify, because you're an expert here, for people who don't know. This term MMA, mixed martial arts, is thrown around. Is it like an umbrella where underneath it are a lot of different subcategories? And then you have the Muay Thai. Is it in itself something that is exclusive as a fighting style, or is it something that falls under MMA? Could you explain the categories and the subdivisions for people who don't know much?
All right. So since you started off with MMA, MMA stands for Mixed Martial Arts, and Mixed Martial Arts is literally an umbrella term for a lot of styles mixed together. Uh, for example, Muay Thai is the most commonly used striking art. That's what you do when you're standing up, hitting each other on the like you're striking.
Okay.
And then when you go to the ground, you can't be using Muay Thai on the ground. So there's Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, Russian Sambo, and to take people down, you have American wrestling, all that mixed in. So mixed martial arts is a term used for a mix of all that. That's what MMA is. It's not a style on its own, no.
Right. So it's an amalgamation of styles.
Yes.
So then it's fair to say that you coach people on MMA as well as you specialize in Muay Thai, right?
Yeah, so MMA, I help fighters who want to build their striking up. I exclusively teach striking. Since MMA has so many components in it, even in USA, people who compete in the UFC and whatnot, they have their own striking coach. They have their grappling coach, wrestling coach. It's all mixed.
Okay.
One coach should not be teaching all of it.
Okay.
Is something that I truly believe in, because one coach can be great at striking or great at wrestling or jiu-jitsu, but he can't be great at teaching all three of them. There are components in it that you have to go in detail to. So there are I've seen this happen a lot in Sri Lanka, where so-called MMA coaches teach fighters, but it's either teaching them striking or teaching them grappling. This was in the past, but now I see a big difference. Now I see that the younger coaches have actually mixed it up properly, like the term mixed martial arts. That's what it should be. It should be a proper mix of striking, grappling. It's a good mix. Like, otherwise you can't just have striking and go into MMA. What happens when you get taken down?
That's true.
Or the other way.
So for someone who is at a level where they're competing, they need to have a couple of coaches who specialize in, like you said, one for grappling, wrestling, one for the striking. That's ideally how it has to be, right?
Ideally, yes.
Instead of like one guy trying to get the whole thing done. That's why it differs, and it's different, I guess, from something traditional like boxing.
Yes. So if I give an example, these days there's a fighter who's very famous in UFC known as Ilia Tapuria. He's a really good boxer, meaning for MMA standards, he's really good in boxing. He trains boxing a lot. And then when it comes to the MMA fights that he fights in, he has superior hands. Like, his punches, his footwork is superior to most people who are competing against him. But he's not just boxing. While he does that, he trains his jiu-jitsu, he trains his wrestling, all that. Because if he gets taken down, he has to match that as well.
So when you talk about, I know it's a different thing, talk about like karate styles, does that kind of thing also fall under MMA? Anything goes?
Yeah. So there was a fighter named Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He exclusively had a karate background. And of course, he trained in jiu-jitsu, wrestling and all that. But his striking was very karate based. MMA is not just one style. Striking does not have to be just Muay Thai. Does not have to be just boxing. So yeah.
Okay. Are there just Muay Thai based competitions in Sri Lanka?
Oh yeah.
There are.
Yeah.
Is it a recent thing, or it's been happening for a while now? Or?
I think the first pro tournament in Sri Lanka started somewhere in 2019. And the Muay Thai Association in Sri Lanka started somewhere in 2017.
Okay.
So, but there was a big gap in tournaments up until, I would say, 2022. So you could say it's very recent, because in 2022, the first WBC pro card happened. After that,
what is WBC, Macha?
It's the World Boxing Council.
Okay.
So you've seen this nice green and gold belt that Mike Tyson held, Usyk held. So that
it's a WBC title.
It's the most known, prestigious belt. Yeah.
So when you say you're a WBC certified coach, that means you're acknowledged by
yes
The World Boxing.
Yes, they have their own. So World Boxing Council also has World Boxing Council Muay Thai. I'm certified under them. I got it in Thailand. I'm actually also going in for another coaching exam or a workshop in May. So yeah,
In Thailand?
yes, that's also, it's with a very famous gym known as Sitsampinong in Bangkok. They are working with WBC for this workshop. So
Okay.
yeah.
One thing I would like to really touch upon, because when we met Machang for this Under Armour challenge thing that we did, right? I mean, no comparison. You're a monster. You're a beast. You're a badass. And although you're younger than me, you're a fellow who like instantly inspired me and motivated me when I took up the challenge. Not just looking at your routine and the stuff that you do, and then also looking at the level of focus and discipline and how multifaceted you are in terms of watching out for your diet, focusing on recovery, and then you're coaching and you're training others, and then you've taken up the challenge. And then I could see some of the stuff you were doing as part of your routine, and I was going like, holy shit, how is this guy doing that? But what really touched me and moved me was where we were out for lunch one day. This was you, myself, and the Bad Mojo guys from the agency Bad Mojo. I think we went to a Chinese restaurant or Japanese restaurant?
Korean barbecue.
Korean barbecue. Yeah. I'm going to get stoned for getting that mixed up. But no, they're not all the same, ladies and gentlemen. They're not. They're significantly different. But we were there having a conversation, and I understood, or rather my eyes and my heart and mind was completely opened when you shared some personal stuff about your journey into this. And I was able to relate, and it resonated with me as a guy who also comes from very trying times and a background where things have not been easy in my life. So I'm not going to harp and talk about that. But rather what I would like, if you don't mind, because I think people see the shredded Vimukthi, the guy with a resolve of iron and steel, and of course, amazing accolades, because I think you're the youngest guy to open your own gym in Sri Lanka. 25 years old at the time, 24, 25. And you were competing around the world, and all the struggles and the hardships and the hurdles that you had to overcome, and finding your own sponsors, and then attending to your own medical bills. I did research and found out that that's also something that you guys have to do on your own. You don't always have people to advocate and monetary sponsors, to support you guys, right? Even when you're representing the country. And again, coming from Stigmata, having represented Sri Lanka around the world, you will barely see an article or anyone talking about it. You know this. And we've been carrying the flag for Sri Lanka, Masan, 26 years, and we're still doing it. This is a very different thing. You guys are putting your bodies on the line. You're taxing yourselves. And I'm a dude who keeps fit and I work out. And I do it 4 days a week, and I know how difficult it is. I cannot fathom how you guys do it morning and afternoon and night and every day, right? So huge respect for that. But if you would like to share how this whole thing started, I do know the part where you were 5-6 years old and you watched a Bruce Lee movie with your dad, and that inspired you and you wanted to get into fighting, and he didn't at that point allow you, and your dad comes where he had a garment business, and you got so interested in fighting that you started fighting with the mannequins. Is that true?
That's true.
And those were your first sparring partners?
Yes.
And so that part I know. And I believe that people they really, really deserve to know what your struggle, the inception, and your journey has been, and how fucking hard, pardon my French, it's been so far, Machang. If you would like to share that.
Yeah. So when I started martial arts in 2007, that also again parents didn't know. I told them I had an afternoon maths class, and I collected the lunch money they gave, lunch and breakfast money they gave, and I just started my training. I went to this Kyokushin karate class in Navala.
While you're in school, this is?
Yeah. Under Shihananda Sirivardhana, but I couldn't continue there for a long time because, again, parents were against it. They found out later on.
But didn't you come back home like all scarred and beaten up and shit?
Luckily, I was a very dark kid. It wasn't visible. Even now, right? Whatever happens, I don't bruise.
Okay.
Yeah, I was fortunate for that.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
How old were you? 2007 ki anne?
I was about 12, 13.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, that's where it all started. Then I also did some sports style karate in my school as well. That was sort of a front for my parents. I was like, see, this is not violent. Like, you don't get hit.
But you were karate captain. You were made captain at one point.
In the
Same school?
Same school, yes.
Okay. An assistant coach as a result of being the captain, right?
Yes. So yeah, that all happened in school. And then I always wanted to try Muay Thai. And I found a gym, started training there. But I later, in my career, when I left there, I understood, okay, Muay Thai is way more than what we've been taught and like what Sri Lankan standards were at the time. I think I don't think any coach would teach you bad. They all try to do
the best
they can with what they have. It's just a matter of they've also not been exposed to it enough. And I guess Sri Lanka, coming from our region, resources are very less as well. And yeah, when I started, I was training at this place. 4 months into it, I got invited to compete in this tournament in Thailand. Went there, was a big struggle because at the time, bro, my dad got diagnosed with cancer, and this was like my out. Like, I was just training full time, and had to find my own sponsors. Somehow made it all happen. Went to Thailand, and got badly beaten up. That was my first Muay Thai tournament.
I remember you saying that one problem was there was a mix-up with the weight class.
So again, this is what I said earlier. The coaches, I don't think they understood what they were doing at the time.
Right.
Reason is, weight categories are there for a reason, and experience and everything matters when it comes to a fight. And before going into an international stage, you should be competing amateur level locally, at least inter-club inside the gym.
Right.
Or then go fight in the country a few times with similar experience levels. And then once the fighter or the practitioner gets enough experience and ring experience, then yeah, going outside and fighting is okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and unfortunately in Sri Lanka, most gyms don't even have a boxing ring. First time you fight is the first time you get into
a ring properly.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
And once you get into a ring, bro, it's all different because when you're sparring inside the gym, it's all chill. You move around, jump around. But once you get inside the ring, you realize 2 steps back and the third step back is the ropes.
Yeah.
And you're cornered. You don't realize that until you actually get into a ring.
Right.
It's a different ball game, and the tension there and how you get cornered, how to get out of it, all those comes through ring experience. You don't just get it. And most fighters in our region don't get that exposure. I'm talking about South Asia.
Okay.
East, of course, is very advanced in fighting.
But now, I guess Thailand, Vietnam, and Cambodia, they're a bit more advanced.
Yeah, anyway, Thailand is the mother place of
Muay Thai. Yeah.
But I'm talking about like India, Pakistan, these regions.
Right.
Yeah, but they're also coming up. Pakistan, India, and all those countries. We are still a bit behind, I think, but it's getting there.
Why is that? Is it because there is exposure and mileage now? There's also a lot of interest in it. Do you feel it's behind? Is it a problem with the resources? Is it a problem where it's informative and education based? Is it that we need more coaches? Is it that there's a problem with the infrastructure, or all of the above? Or?
Definitely, there's a issue with the infrastructure, and also I do believe that the coaches need to train, because most coaches, I think, when they get the idea of I'm a coach, they stop training and learning. This never really ends.
It never ends, right?
Yeah,
With anything,
the
right?
basic things just keeps changing when you train. Like simple strike that you've been throwing for the last 20 years, you realize something about it every year when you keep throwing it a million times.
Right.
So you just should not stop training, because the moment you stop training, you forget what the student goes through. You just look at it. It's like watching a movie and commenting on it. No, you have to do it. You have to go through that struggle to really, tell when they're doing something wrong.
So that's interesting. It's not just a linear fighting style or an art form. It's something where there's a lot of adoption and there's a lot of adaptability. You have to be adaptable.
100%.
Not just based on the environment and the condition, but based on who you're fighting also, to be able to change your strikes.
Oh, yeah. It's
and your
very
technique,
different.
right?
Yeah.
Interesting. So I think the science of this is something maybe that people don't entirely grasp or understand.
True.
They see a bunch of people getting into the ring and just fighting, and it's very easy for them to say, oh, this person got their ass whooped by a Sri Lankan fighter, jumped in and got their ass whooped by some person from another country, where they don't really understand the context or how difficult it is until you're there.
Yeah.
Right?
That point specifically. So, for example, someone in Thailand who started at the age of 5, when you meet them when they're 16, they've at least had 78, 80 fights.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
What is that ratio compared to
a Sri
Lankan fighter?
Our guy maybe 3 fights, 4 fights.
Wow. So there's no comparison there.
Yeah. So now there's at least a few tournaments happening, couple a year.
Right.
I'm talking when the Muay Thai Association started in 2017, it was just a national tournament happening once a year. That's the only competition people had to compete in. And then with time, there were more tournaments, but still our fighters need to get way more exposure. Like in USA, they have something known as smoker fights, the Muay Thai Development League. What that does is in every state, or in one state, every gym organizes a small tournament. It's a very mild tournament. Some categories, let's say 0 to 2 fights, that's known as the N class, novice class.
Right.
You're not even allowed to hit each other hard.
Okay.
Yeah. In these MDL tournaments, you are not trying to knock each other out. You are literally going there to feel the pressure, understand the pressure, perfect your technique, literally just gain experience. You go through those and then you get thrown into proper amateur tournaments.
Right.
Then you already know the ring. You already know how it feels when a crowd is screaming
Different
at you.
pressure.
Very
Completely.
very different. All those things are very different, and I feel for the people who compete from our region, because most people really don't get this experience until you go there, and it's overwhelming. And mind you, it's like getting into a fight on the street. It just happens. But when you know you're scheduled for a fight, it feels like a car crash is happening Saturday at 7 p.m. and you gotta be ready for it. You know you are gonna get hurt a bit.
Yeah.
That anticipation is insane. That last week,
The pressure, the build up to it.
it's insane, bro. Fight's easy. It's just that staying, waiting, training for
Waiting
that.
for it to happen.
Yeah, since I've become a coach, I've understood how different people react to it. But everyone goes through a very hard time during the last week because it hits you.
I think it's very valuable that you're saying this. And again, the reason I'm drawing a correlation and a certain kinship between extreme metal as if you were to compare it as a metaphor, as an extreme sport, and there's no comparison. You guys are getting better than it's a complete different discipline. But at the same time, it takes a lot of discipline, a lot of learning, a lot of experience to do what a metal band does on stage.
100%.
And it's sad that a lot of people don't understand it. They see us as just a bunch of people who just get on stage with grab your instruments and just plug it in and then everything works. There's so much that has to go in to making a 2-hour performance to keep an audience engaged and hooked. You're touring overseas, you're touring the world, you're playing for people where the ratio is sure. I mean, we've been around for a while, so we have the blessing where there might be a 60-40 ratio where 40% know who we are. There's still a good 60-70% of people that you're playing for the first time and you have to win them over. And if you're sharing it with other bands from around the world, you have just 40-45 minutes to win them over with that first or second song, and they're not going to be very kind. They're not going to be benign and just be like, oh, okay, they're from Sri Lanka, let's cut them some slack. No, they want us to be toe-to-toe and at the same level as the other ones who are there. And like you said, the hardest part is not being on stage. Even for us, and I'm sure a lot of other bands, it's that anticipation, being on the plane, traveling, prepping for it, rehearsing, and then every single time you're thinking, oh my God, so many things can go wrong. Like you can go and play your best and then the sounds might be shit. You need to have endurance, you need to have fitness. I know it looks like a bunch of intoxicated people stumbling all about and jumping up and down, but a lot of that is very well coordinated and we have to make sure it's done pristinely. So when we spoke initially, I found a lot of correlations and a lot of similarities with metal as musically a performative art style. What you guys are doing is complete full body contact kind of stuff. And like you said, and that's what I wanted to also talk to you about so that more people understand it's not just the physical taxation, that there's a massive mental, psychological and emotional sense of resolve that you need, right, when you're fighting.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's not like going out somewhere where someone pulls a fight and anything goes, right? Over here, you do have limitations where you're fighting within a certain framework. You know there are certain rules. There are do's and then there are don'ts. And then like you said, you anticipate it and then what happens there might unravel and unfold in a completely different way. I mean, how much of studying your opponent really helps when you actually go into one of these things?
Again, studying your opponent only happens in pro tournaments, because amateurs, you meet some, like you go there, whoever's there. Yeah, you can't, because when you go there, you know who your fighters are, and you just compete whoever's in the opposite corner. So you don't really get to study. And amateur tournaments, as I see it, are the best tournaments for you to evolve your game.
Right.
Like before turning pro, you should fight a lot in the amateur circuit. Because get this right, usually let's say the WBC amateur tournament that we go and compete in, if there's a lot of fighters in your category, you have to fight twice a day. Yeah, and it's not an easy task, because your shins are gonna hurt, your legs are gonna swell up, your body hurts, and you have to be in this certain weight category. So you can't be overeating, because the next morning you have to weigh in again.
Okay.
So if you're 67 kilos, you have to be 67 on the dot or you're disqualified before you even fight.
Wow. Okay.
And this happens throughout the week, and you have to fight twice a day sometimes. And that pressure, that conditioning you have, and specifically the mental fortitude you gain through that. Like I fight in the morning, then again you're battered, but coach calls you, your fight's in 5 minutes again, and yeah, you just gotta go in. That builds a different kind of a will for a fighter, and that's very important. Pros, if you look at even in boxing, the best pros have at least 200, 300 amateur bouts behind them, like Lomachenko, Usyk, all of those guys, even in boxing. Amateur circuit is very important. Yeah.
How is the amateur circuit building up over here?
I would say we can do a lot more.
How do you feel that, I mean, what do you think are some of the things that can be done to support building up the amateur infrastructure in the scene here?
Okay, one thing in our amateur circuit is that there are no categories. in any tournament. Pros are pros. You go fight. But amateur circuit, like, it could be your first fight fighting against someone who's been winning for the last 5-6 years, which is not okay. We should have classes where 0 to 2 fights, the novice class should be like, then you have similar experience.
So not just weight, but you're talking also experience, number of fights.
Yeah.
Okay.
It matters a lot more. Because the experience, like as I said, all the crowd, how you feel, how you control your nerves, how you see things. Because once you go into the ring and fight for the first time, it feels like a flash. Like,
before you know it, it's gone, right?
Yeah,
it's finished.
Yeah. And if you're against someone who's really good, it feels like it's never ending sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you are on the
just getting
battered, right? Like 3 minutes feel like a very long time. But again, the guy whose experience has gone through all these emotions and
been there before.
Yeah. So if you get matched up with someone with a lot of experience, it's really unfair for the guy who's just starting out. The amateur circuit,
who decides the categories, Machan?
Again, as I mentioned, the infrastructure isn't that good. Like, associations do end up organizing tournaments, but it's just weight class. You need to have categories in it. Again, this comes down to resources. People might say, our budget is this, so we can't do that and whatnot. Again, remember how metal started and everyone was playing gigs at Shalika.
Yeah.
So exactly how Muay Thai and the martial arts scene is still, but it's getting there.
And Shalika was one of the good times since we were there before.
We
were playing every nook and cranny. So I love it how you started off, and you went into training. Saying you're going for tuition, it was the same thing with us. You couldn't say you're playing in a metal band, so we said we're going for tuition, school uniform, take a change, stay with them for sports practice, then go into the studio, start recording. That's the stuff we went through. Machan, so, okay, let's cut to your training. How you train those under you, your students, how you coach them, and your own personal training. What does a day in the life of Coach V or Vimukthi Abeynayake look like in terms of your training and your diet, and what do you do to keep fit?
So I wake up very early, around 4:30 in the morning. That's like, that's now in me, because when I started Vanquish...
Force of habit.
Yeah.
What time do you crash the day before?
So again, that depends, because again, here's the thing, right? When you're a coach, you can't really be selfish, and you don't have a lot of time to think about yourself. Fighters have to be selfish. They have to put themselves first, because you have to be competitive, so you come first all the time.
Right.
Coach, on the other hand, you got to be selfless completely. Everything else comes before you. So my sleeping habit, I wouldn't recommend to anyone, because it's not the best, I know. But yeah, it could be 10:30, it could be 11, it could be 12. Sometimes I have to sleep at 1 and wake up by 4:30 again.
Especially when you took up that whole crazy thing where you were doing the Under Armour challenge and acting in a movie at the same time and coaching and training. So that would have been mad.
That was nuts, because
4:30 in the morning, Masang, you wake up and you train, right?
Yeah.
Your first students come at what time? 6:37?
Yeah. So
right.
How it used to be, now it's a bit different, but how it used to be was I wake up at 4:30. So I did not want to start my own gym at the age of 25. I never really had a goal of starting a gym.
Okay.
I never really wanted to be a coach also.
Okay.
So things happened with my previous coaches, and I realized, okay, there's not really a place for me here. And there were not any tournaments at all in Muay Thai in Sri Lanka at the time as well. So I sort of really got sick of the scene.
Okay.
Yeah, because of...
This is particularly where you're not talking about it, but there was a time period where it was crazy, where you were under threats and all kinds of crazy stuff.
A lot of things happened.
A lot of adversaries and a lot of people causing you trouble also. Why was it quintessential? Because you were young?
One thing is that, and
Young, hot-blooded and opinionated?
yeah,
Also?
yeah, opinions are not really respected in Sri Lanka, right? Like, specifically when you work with seniors.
You mean with an open mind. This is
Yeah.
there across the board. We see,
and in
even
anything.
in bureaucracy, no matter,
Yeah.
even in the corporate world, as I like to call corporate whoredom, it's the same thing. It's very easy to pass judgment and dish out, not very good at receiving.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, right.
And so yeah, I pretty much got hated for all that. And this is way before Vimukthi became a coach.
This is when you were fighting, no?
Yeah, competing. Again, I wasn't guided well. As I said, I got battered up in Thailand.
Okay.
And I came back, I tried competing. Again, didn't really get a proper guidance. And back then, I used to look up to the coaches as if they are like father figures, and they were our gods back then. And
But that's how it is, no? Even in sports.
Exactly.
You look up to the coach like for everything, no?
Yeah. And certain things happened, so I left the gym.
Right.
And when I left the gym, there were so many rumors about me that I also was surprised to hear. And I was like, you know what, maybe this is not it. And I sort of stepped down from martial arts. I was like, maybe I'm done. This was somewhere in 2016, 17. So about 17.
So you'd have been about 20, 21?
Yeah.
Around
So,
that year.
yeah. So I lost my dad 2 days before my 21st birthday.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Yeah. That's life, right? So I think 2-3 months after that is when this gym incident happened.
Okay.
Yeah. And at the time I was working a corporate job at a travel agency, and sort of got lost somewhere there. And I did abuse a bit of alcohol. I think how I started dealing with it, like dad's death, the gym situation and everything. Because before I lost dad, bro, I was just completely training throughout, and that was my outlet. And when I lost that, that's the time I was like, you know what, done.
So that's everything, right? That's your dad, and then also you put so much of yourself into the fighting and the outlet, and then you lose that also.
Yeah, that was very heavy on me. And I started abusing alcohol back then. And one of my coaches, who is in USA, coaches in the sense, he has been more of a mentor. Like he sort of found me on Facebook when I was training back then. He saw something in me and he started giving me advice. Coach Miran Nilangana, should mention him because he's
What's his name, Macha? Yeah.
Coach Miran Nilangana.
Okay.
He's in USA. Why I mention his name is that I completely quit martial arts in 2017 towards Feb. I had a call with him and he said, people like you should not be away from this sport. If you don't want to compete, if you don't want to be a part of it anymore, at least start coaching. That's sort of the fire that I got, and I went back into a gym and I started training again. Because of him is why I'm still there. So I will always have that respect for him. And then I was training at this place. Then I also got more in towards coaching. And before I started my own class, there's one thing I promised myself. I told myself I'll be the coach that I wish I had when I was competing. And that kept pushing me throughout. And funny story was, even that gym where I was training in, so many things happened, so many unethical things. So I had to leave. And
this is the gym that you joined to train immediately your return, your comeback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, there I became a coach. I was doing a class for them. And a few things happened that I cannot stand with, and I decided to leave. And I was just turning 25. Since I became a coach, I planned to have my own gym, maybe when I was like 35 years old. But since this thing happened, I was like, okay, starting COVID, no money, no place to train. Just had a few students who believed in me in that class. So when I lost that gym, I sort of took a small loan. I had 2,500 rupees or something like that in my bank account, by the way. Like, I had nothing. Took a loan, found this tiny place in Madhyavala next to a jogging track. And I started Vanquish there. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this somehow. And I sort of cleaned the gym, painted the gym alone, did the wiring with a few of my friends. One of my good friends, Bobby and Minuka, those two helped me a lot. Minuka, I think even comes to the metal gigs a lot.
Yes.
Through that, with 9 mats, I started Vanquish. That's it. All I had was 9 mats and that building. And I started the gym. Classes went on for a week. Country lockdown. This was COVID.
Yeah.
And rent was due. The landlords don't care about COVID and whatnot.
Yeah.
They want their rent. Then I sort of somehow started this online training program. I worked on Muay Thai, footwork and whatnot, techniques, combinations and whatnot. And that really took up, bro. During COVID. People were free as well. And that covered enough for the rent and everything. And starting 2021 is when I properly got a chance to start group classes. And then Vanquish just took off. We had like 10, 12 students in the first class itself. So why I start at 4:30 is when I wake up. Why I wake up at 4:30 is back then I was the only man running the show, right? I had no staff, none of that. So by 4:30 I wake up. I have to go. This was right next to the road. So every day, no matter how much you clean it, there's dust. So by 5 I have to be at the gym, sweep the entire gym. Then mop it, bro. Okay? Then you have to put on the fans, wait for it to dry. Then 6:30 the students come. So that's how the days went. After that, when things fell into place, I was still waking up at 4:30, coming to gym. Jogging track was right there. So I started running. So I did like 10K every morning and then did my strength and conditioning
You
work.
still do 10K every morning?
Not every morning now. Reason being, there were so many health complications I had due to getting injured by either a student or the movie took a lot out of me as well.
Oh, yes.
So
you had a lot of injuries for the movie.
Injuries in the sense, so movie came up. I can't say a lot about it.
Okay.
But
you can, maybe without giving the name and stuff, maybe you can, get people a little bit excited about it. What type of movie it is and what your role was, that you can talk about.
Yeah, so I'm playing the lead in it.
It's an action movie.
It's, I would say, a mix of everything.
Okay.
There is action in it. Yeah, it is an action movie with a mix of everything.
Okay.
You could say a masala movie.
A masala movie?
Yeah.
A masala action movie but you choreographed all the fight scenes.
I did get a bit of help.
Okay.
I wanted to do the entire thing, but this is the first time I'm acting. And I'm doing the main role. I was like, you know what? I'm going to screw both up if I try to do it alone. Because it's not my expertise. Like, I coach fighters, but choreography is a whole different thing.
Yeah.
And I took a few of my friends from MMA Fightland. They are in Ragama. Kaushal, he's a very well-known choreography coach now. He runs this place called Danger Zone.
Okay.
I told him, you know what? I'm doing this, so help me out here. So we did the whole thing together. I think it'll come out really nice.
How long did you guys shoot for?
3-4 months. Yeah.
Nice.
3-4
Intense.
months. Yeah. Quite intense, bro. Like, I had days where...
So you're fighting and you're acting, man. So.
Yeah. It was intense. I've never really rode a motorcycle. And in this movie, I had to ride it a lot. So within a week or two, I had to learn how to ride a bike.
Nice.
And to actually chase stuff as well. It was just insane. But yeah, about the movie, like how you see me now, around this weight, I was like 68, 70 kilos. When I got confirmed that I'm going to be in it, then I sort of looked at the script and I was like, yeah, I can't look like this for this script. and I went on a whole like extreme diet, extreme schedule, and I just cut down to like 60 kilos, like good 10 kilos.
Dude, I remember I met you. You were like marble.
Yeah.
Like one of those Spartans. For that point, I remember meeting you, right? We went out to dinner a couple of times, and we kept bumping into each other because we were doing the Under Armour challenge. But that was another thing that was absolutely inspiring, man. We mentioned, or rather, we discussed how it was a Bruce Lee movie that inspired you to get into fighting. What was the Bruce Lee movie?
Enter the Dragon, the one with Chuck Norris.
Oh, that's a great one. Speaking of the late, great Chuck Norris, who passed away recently, which is very surreal because, there are so many Chuck Norris legendary memes. Like you think that if death came as a reaper, like death would die.
Yeah.
And Chuck Norris would still be alive. What are your thoughts on Chuck Norris? I mean, everyone knows him as a famous actor, and there are all these crazy memes about him. But as a fighter, what are your thoughts?
Again, he was one of the best karate and kickboxing fighters there was in his era. And I think where he really shined was in the movies where he inspired a whole generation to actually start martial arts. Because again, I started off seeing martial arts after seeing Enter the Dragon. Yeah.
They really fought in that one, huh?
Yeah. They actually did go at each other because Bruce Lee apparently called Chuck and asked him, do you want to be in this movie? And Chuck had been like, so you want to beat the world champion, huh? And Bruce Lee had said, no, I want to kill the world champion.
Because I heard they really fought, and like at one point they were filming and they didn't know, okay, should we like stop this? Because they're really going at each other.
I think maybe they were just, having fun. Because even when me and my students sometimes spar, to others it looks like a real fight, but we are actually just having fun.
I suppose at that level also it's professionally choreographed,
because
right?
Chuck would be a much bigger, heavier individual and Bruce Lee would be lighter.
So that's an interesting question. If you thought at that point, at Chuck's peak, if he fought Bruce Lee at Bruce Lee's peak, you'd say Chuck would win?
There's no easy way to put this. Depends on context again, whether they're fighting
and
kickboxing.
The fighting style.
Yeah. So if they're fighting kickboxing, definitely I would. Chuck. I think again, it's just my opinion.
Yeah, but Chuck, that's right.
Yeah, because he has more reach. He has superior boxing. He has long legs to kick. So yeah.
But speed and reflexes and agility, won't you say, Bruce?
Yeah, but there's a huge gap.
Okay.
Of size, but yeah, definitely Bruce would have been challenging with his speed. But when it comes to a real fight, when power and everything's involved, like 10 kilos is a lot when you get hit on the face. You feel it, trust me. I am fast, but my students like Kevin and Giri, those guys, when they hit you, you regret certain life choices.
Yeah, one quick thing I want to also add, it always thrills me and enthralls me to see how much your fighters and your students look up to you and adore you. I wanted to mention that because it's something that I've seen online. It's something that when they're just in your presence, they know. And that's not because you carry yourself on a certain plateau or you carry yourself with a certain degree of ego. It's none of those things. It's like you said, your own words, that a coach is actually selfless, whereas a fighter and a student can get to be selfish because they're competing and they're fighting. And that translates to the students. And both the men and women, the boys and girls that are under you, I have seen that. And that's another thing I've thought. This man commands so much of love and respect. And that's very hard because you can in life, go through life and to earn a person's respect is one thing. To earn a person's love is another thing. To earn both means you have to truly be a special human being.
That means a lot, bro.
So big shout out to our amazing partners and sponsors of TIR. Do you, obviously, leaving aside the MMA and the Muay Thai, you personally train people for solely fitness-based endeavors also?
Yeah, so under personal training, that again, I teach Muay Thai, but depending on their goal.
Right.
Yes.
So not just to compete. It's part and parcel of training with you.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be personal training as well. So even in any gym you go to in the world, 80% of the people who come to the gym does not compete.
Okay.
It's 20%, 10%. It's the like, but we still train them to push themselves and to be better. Because one thing I truly believe in is that in training, how hard you push and like the battles you overcome in training trains your mind more than the body.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so that aspect of martial arts I try to instill in everyone. And I always say that humans are creatures of habit. So every morning you wake up, the first thing you do is the first thing you do every day.
You're right.
Yeah, so we are creatures of habit. So our habits matter a lot, the tiny things.
So I saw this amazing thing recently, Masang, where the brain doesn't differentiate between good habits and bad habits. The more you do something, what the brain does is, it tells our body to become more efficient doing it. So the reason why lazy people are very good at being lazy is because they become efficient at being lazy. It's true. And people who develop very toxic and bad habits become more efficient at becoming toxic, which makes sense. So people who develop discipline, focus, drive, motivation, an impetus to do things with positivity, those are also habits, but you're pushed to be more efficient doing it. So I saw this recently. I remember having a conversation with my wife and telling her, listen, so this makes sense. And this is why we know people in our lives who sometimes can't give up toxic habits, right? So it makes sense what you're saying. So if you develop a routine of good habits, habits that are healthy for you, no one is perfect. People are going to fall off the wagon. People are going to make mistakes. People are going to have a few taboos, and people are going to have a couple of bad habits. But overall, to try and live a meaningful and a fulfilling life as much as possible, like you said, means healthy mind, healthy body, right?
100%.
And there's a connection between both.
Yes, 100%. And next thing is that why I touched on this was, I've noticed specifically with me, I used to be a very obese fat kid, right? Like I wasn't healthy, I wasn't eating right when I was
a teenager.
Yeah, smaller, but also early parts of my teenagehood. Yeah,
okay.
And my mindset and my life completely changed when I started pushing my body.
Right.
And I realized these are all habits. And first thing I realized was when we were training, if my habit is to give up when training gets hard or a certain exercise gets hard, I sort of carry that habit in my life. Like I learned to give up in this. So things get hard in life. No matter what comes, I give up. Because my mind isn't trained to work against feeling discomfort. So now I've sort of trained my habits into going through these discomforts and overcoming them. And I've seen my life got better.
I love it, man. I've also in my own way hit, like, it's there in my book, by the way. I forgot to bring it for you. You ordered a book. I'll make sure you get it at some point. You have your own signed copy also. I talk about it, how I hit rock bottom and how I had to finally motivate myself and come out of that was just focus on self, not anyone else or anything else, and stop blaming other people for your problems and blame the world for all the shortcomings and everything that's been screwed up and messed up. Just pick myself up and start developing and honing some positive habits and pushing yourself. But growth happens, true growth happens when you push yourself out of your comfort zone, when you stop being complacent, and when you start doing difficult and challenging things, right?
100%. That I agree with. And people always compromise when it comes to themselves, but they are very reluctant to compromise when it comes to others. But it should actually be the opposite.
Other way around.
Yeah. When it comes to yourself, you should never never compromise means when it comes to training, when it comes to
your well-being,
your
health.
No excuses. You get things done. But when it comes to working with other people, there are different beliefs, different lifestyles, different cultures, different religions. So many things are there. So because of that, you need to learn to compromise. Specifically, if you are a leader leading people, you have to compromise when it comes to people, working with others. But when it comes to yourself, never. The inner being, you always gotta... Because we wake up, if your week was very hard, you've been training super hard, or you've been having a hard day at work. Next day when you wake up, the first thing you're going to feel like is tired.
Yeah.
You want to sleep in a bit more and all that. But you should never compromise. You just go and get things done.
You just get things done.
One of the things people always ask me is, how do you keep training every single day? You keep training every single day. It's simple as that. You just do it.
I know that because I remember when we're doing this challenge thing and I spoke to you and I was telling you, man, like you work out so hard. And I remember asking you, I felt like a damn fool for asking you. I asked you, so where do you get your rest and recovery? And you just looked at me point blank and said, what is that, Macha? I said, no, when do you recover? When do you rest and, to rejuvenate? And there's no such thing, Mazak. Every day you work out and your body gets used to that. You build a system and a routine and a habit. And
recovery is a real thing, but I don't think 90% of the people push themselves hard enough to deserve it. That's just me being blunt and telling the truth.
I love
people don't train that hard, bro. They really don't. Look at them, do one set, look at the phone, talk to whoever, come back. That's not working out.
That's true. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%, and not just with the physical stuff. Fitness
No. I speak of the physical stuff because it relates to the
everything else.
100%.
Everything else in your life, right? Macha, what are some of the take homes that you personally had? There are a lot of people out there who probably want to get fitter, who want to get healthier, who want to get off their asses and make that effort, and always something impeding them or stopping them. What are your take homes of how you would advise a person to listen, man? Just get going. I mean, it's one thing to say, just, stop being a whining, pusillanimous, like waste of space, just work hard. It's easy for people. So that's an interesting thing psychologically. Some people are naturally more resilient and hardworking and can push themselves. The moment the body or the mind says, "Ayyo, mata behe," it's like, go further. But not everyone has that. Or in your experience, do you believe that everyone has that, but everyone has a trigger and we have to find it?
It's more so, again, I was spoon-fed at home. My mom is like a typical Sri Lankan mom who's like, puta meka kanna, have this, wake up, the tea's next to you, okay, like that. And my dad, when he was around, he was very caring. He would do everything for us. We didn't even have to go out. And that's, I believe, how most Sri Lankan households are. Most, not everything, or not every, but most parents are like that. They spoon feed their children. And then most of us are lazy. because you don't really do much. Like
You
you are used to
you don't have a
comfort.
reason to push yourself.
Yeah, you are used to comfort. But again, everyone has what it takes. It's just a matter of doing it every single day.
But is what it takes, Masang, also, is it necessary for every person to reach a breaking point? Does it have to be something that bends and breaks you to reach that level of comprehension that, okay, time for me to change?
Not really.
Not
I
really.
think you just have to start with the bare minimum.
What is the bare minimum in this case, do you feel?
It's again
Up to the
differs-
individual.
Individual. Okay. Let's say someone who has never worked out or like done nothing. They
You mean
just
start with something.
something bare minimum.
Maybe don't join a gym, but maybe go for walks.
The habit.
Bill.
But I truly believe everything starts with waking up early. Reason being, throughout the day, so many things can go wrong and you can lose the time.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
there's a certain point of the day that no one can take away from you.
That's first thing in the morning.
That's first thing in the morning.
I love that.
So you wake up early, that becomes a habit. You wake up early, start going for a walk. Doesn't have to be a lot. Just start going for a walk. Humans are creatures of habit, and also humans are designed to evolve. None of us, that's why technology exists. That's why Olympic records keep breaking every Olympic that there is, because we all evolve.
And we have the proclivity to push ourselves to be better.
Yes, as long as that habit is there. So through habit comes discipline. You can't watch Instagram reels and get motivated and work out. That never happens.
Yeah.
You have to be disciplined. Discipline comes from waking up, doing something hard, and then doing it every single day. You just got to keep doing it. It's not easy, but
It's not easy. So one of the things, particularly for me, being a little bit older than you, and sure, you spoke about having hit rock bottom where you took to the bottle, right? So it's I'm no stranger much onto alcohol and narcotics, particularly in my 20s and 30s, and going absolutely crazy and wild and not looking after my health, and then having a turnaround. And I still like to go crazy once every while, I'm not gonna lie. But for the most part, I've really changed things around. I'm stronger than I used to be. I'm fitter than I used to be. And I love that you keep talking about habits much, and that's a very important thing. Because for me, before I go to sleep at night, I switch off the phone. I will read a chapter of a book. When I wake up in the morning, I will not switch on the phone at least for 45 minutes to an hour. It's not, I don't doom scroll the first thing I do. I will read another chapter of something and I'll write something. But I make sure I do 3 very important things. The first thing I do when I wake up, even if I'm lying on the bed, I will meditate and practice gratitude. Second thing I do, I will take in sunlight. Third thing I do, cold shower. Always just a cold shower in the morning. I don't care how difficult it is. Once that cold water hits you and you get the first rays of sunlight in you, you're like up and you're ready to just go, right? Whether I haven't got enough sleep, whether I'm cranky. Hell, I don't understand it. This is something I see with the new generation sometimes, right? Where you see kids are saying, oh my God, I went out last night, got back home at 10:30, 11, and now I have to be at work. And I'm like, dude, that's just a Monday morning or a Tuesday morning, like for our generation. Like,
I mean,
we've gone clubbing and then not gone back home, gone to work. Just left a change at work for that purpose. You go to office and you take a wash and you're still high. You're still having the come down from whatever stuff you took the night before in your office, and you have to prep and go and do a pitch and a meeting. I'm not saying it's for everyone, but I'm talking about even at that point in my life where things were a little bit granular and things were not really great. Even while having some bad habits, I still had that discipline and spirit of motivation to be like, I'm not going to make excuses to not go to work. I'm not going to make excuses to cut band practice. I'm not going to make excuses to say, oh, I need to do this or need to do that. And that I've been able, Machan, to still carry on in life. And I feel that a few good habits will always eventually trump
100%.
the bad habits that you have.
Yes,
If you
that's
have
true.
them, right?
That's true, yeah. Because none of us are perfect, right? We all have our own flaws in one way or another. It's just the matter of what outweighs it. Like, does your bad outweigh the good? So you have to create more good habits rather than the bad habits you have. Yeah.
Machang, so I don't think you intentionally evaded this. Tell us what your training is like.
Oh.
Your training for a day. Because I think people would be really inspired by that. Because you coach and that's a separate routine. So maybe not in great detail, meticulously, but what does a day in the life of Vimukthi look like? Your training, and then for someone who wants to join you and be trained under you, what would that look like?
Okay, so my training, apart from the running and whatnot, whatever workout I do, I always start with 100 pull-ups.
100 pull-ups.
100 pull-ups. So that goes like 10 pull-ups and then 10 handstand push-ups. So I do 10 sets of that before I start anything.
What is the duration in between? Do you take a break or it's just one?
No, it's just back and forth.
Okay. Please continue.
So after that, I do 5 sets of 5 into 5 pull-ups again. So
okay,
5 reps into 5 sets, weighted with whatever weight I can go up to that day.
Nice.
So after that, I start whatever workout I do. And there are days I hit legs. There are days I do a mix of upper body and core. Like it's a mix. But yeah, that's usually how...
So you mix it up. It's generally a full body based?
Full body, usually. But I do now have a separate leg day. Not that I don't hit legs on the other days I train. But I do have a very heavy leg day so that I can be more explosive. But I don't just, lift heavy. I mix it up with plyometrics like jumping stuff.
Right, yeah.
So that,
I've seen you do a lot of that.
Yeah, it really helps you be more explosive. Again, lifting heavy is important for athletes because to lift weight, you got to push the ground. Like that builds a lot of explosiveness.
Also, there's, again, findings and neuroscience released on how people who train their legs and have stronger legs tend to live longer, which is supposed to be an actual thing.
I mean, makes sense because if you train legs, you can't just train the legs without training your core. And also to do a squat, you have to have a proper brace back and the
everything,
core,
right?
everything.
Lower
it's
back,
all
posterior chain, everything.
And studies also have shown if you do proper squat, every other lifts comes higher. Your strength improves because squats really do develop like ultimate strength if you want to train it. And there are so many variations of squats. So back squat, front squat, Zercher squats where you keep the bar on the forearm. All those are really good variations. People should also, anyone should just try to mix those up and train so that they don't just get stuck into one plain exercise. See what works best for them. So yeah. And yeah, once a week, again, coming back to my schedule, once a week, this I just purely do to...
Every day?
Once a week.
You're talking about the full tada leg workout once a week?
Yeah, that's one.
But what you said before
the pull-ups, that's every day. Every day. Sunday probably I wouldn't do it, but every other day I would definitely do my pull-ups. 100 pull-ups is a must for me every day. It's like if I don't do that, I can't go home and fall asleep.
100 pull-ups is mad, bro.
Again, that's to think about it, right? When that becomes a habit, it's nothing. It's just you go through the motions.
Yeah.
It's not hard once you actually start doing it.
When you start doing it.
You develop. Like I could not do a single pull-up or a push-up when I was obese. But now I do hundreds of it.
No, I love pull-ups. It's one of my favorite go-to exercises. And I love, the variations. Supinating and the different grips. Yeah, but this is a crazy number, Bachak. This is something I need to aspire to.
I mean, again, just give yourself enough breaks and start doing it.
Now, my point is 100 karate passe like to do other things.
Again, you evolve. I always say humans evolve. Like your body can take up so much than you think. It's our mind that fails.
That's true.
It's our mind that fails.
Because if you take the prehistoric versions of us, we had to just survive the elements and survive everything.
Exactly, and we didn't get to eat 3 meals a day.
We didn't get to eat.
No, you eat whenever you get to hunt or find fruits.
100%.
It's just businessman marketing right now.
Is a massive. It's just no. It is. It's complete consumerism. It's marketing where people have been hoodwinked that they need to do this, and they're not looking after themselves. And people are just going on calorie surplus and just calorie density, where they're not really burning most of that stuff, right? Because of the jobs, people are seated, they're hunched, they got bad posture, they don't move about. People walk into a place, they take the lift.
Yeah.
They could walk to the store back and forth, but they call a cab. I think that's why it was different with our grandparents and stuff, right? Because they did everything. Yeah. They did their own gardening.
And they were very go, right? When it comes to any task, now people have become way too submissive.
Because it's instantaneously at the tip of their fingers, right?
Exactly.
So that has sort of changed everything, Machan. Okay, so this was a super duper. Oh yeah, someone who wants to join you to be trained, because they'll get scared hearing your routine, Machan. So, what about the people coming to you?
Again, one of the biggest questions I always get is, maybe I'll get fit and I'll come back. No, you don't get fitter by doing anything else. Just start. I wasn't a fit kid when I started this, right? I was an obese fat kid who barely could take the stairs. Yeah, I was that fat. When I was taking the stairs, my thighs would rub against each other and it would hurt me. That's how fat I was. And when I got to the top of the staircase at home, my own home, I would be panting there for a bit, catching my breath, and then go home. Like, that's how I started. And again, when you start with us, we are not putting you into a Shark Tank at once, like you start with bare minimum stuff.
Maybe a baby Shark Tank.
No, so, like, again, anyone with any physical state can start this.
Nice. That's what I want to check with you.
Again, I wasn't.
And the routine is customized or personalized based on the individual?
Again, group classes differ.
Right.
So group class, we have one mixed level class. If it's your first day, we will keep pushing you, but to your limits.
Right.
We wouldn't expect what we do of you or what our seniors do of you.
Right. Okay.
Our job is to always see where they are, where they stand, whether they are willing to push themselves. We always push people. The reason why we do it is we want to see heart more than physical capability.
Right.
Because heart matters. Because even my Thai coaches always say, heart first, gas second, third technique.
Nice.
Because if your heart fails, doesn't matter if you have good technique or cardio. But if you have good heart, you have no gas, your technique does not matter.
That's true.
If you have both of these two, you could even win without technique because you have heart and good cardio. If you have all three, you're sorted. But again, what matters the most? Heart and gas.
Heart and gas.
Yeah.
How can people reach you if they want to join up and train, either seriously to compete or if they want to just personally train with you?
They can reach out to our social media, Vanquish SL on Instagram. That's where we are most active at. And I go under Coach V on IG as well.
Nice. Super. Is there anything else, Machang, you'd like to leave the audience with? This has been a super chat, Machang. One of the most fun and I would say really, really energetic and educational chats. I think a lot of people are going to get a lot of benefits from
I'm glad to hear that.
Hearing the stuff that you've had to say. So anything new, anything that you'd like to plug in? You said that the movie's coming in a few months. You can't talk too much about it. Any new business ventures? You said there are some tournaments happening. Maybe you can give a plug-in for that. Give a shout-out because there might be people who watch this who are interested to tie up with you, to sponsor, partner, and to support the scene. Any final words you have, Machang? Now's the time, baby.
Take-home message. If you want to do something, the best time is right now. Not tomorrow, not when I get fitter, not when I have more money, not when I find time, right now. If you want to do something, if you want to start something, just start off right now. If you wait, it'll never happen. Because if you wait, you'll be waiting.
I hope everyone in the team heard that over here. Did you hear what he said? Three of you. You particularly. that thing like a hyena in the background is the camera lady. Please continue. No, that was superb. I love that. And don't edit that out. Tisara, keep all of this in. So people know it's authentic. I love that. All right, everyone. Vimukthi Abeynayake, Coach V, thank you for being here. Absolute pleasure. Thank you for watching the Island Renaissance podcast. I would like to say thank you to all of you for watching and supporting the Island Renaissance podcast. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to all our amazing partners and our amazing team and crew that help bring these podcasts to light and life. It would mean a lot to us if you do enjoy the content that we're putting up. If you just take a moment and smash that notification button on our official YouTube channel, please make sure that you like and follow the official meta pages for TIR, which is on Instagram and Facebook as well. Because we have, a lot of amazing talent and some incredible personalities, experts from numerous disciplines and fields that have amazing stories to share. And we have amazing chats and conversations with these people, and for us to be able to actually share it with you, share it with the world, we need to have your support, and it would mean the world to us. So thank you once again. Keep supporting. I'm Suresh De Silva. This is the Island Renaissance podcast. Cheers.